forget the Super Bowl, forget F1. We are talking about the World Cup. Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Rahi and Roy. Today is the most important video we have ever made, guys, because we are talking about the greatest event in the world.
And Roy's birthday.
Yeah! My birthday's coming up.
Roy's birthday? Dude, come on. No, forget the Super Bowl, forget F1. We are talking about the World Cup.
This has got to be unequivocally the greatest sporting tournament that mankind has ever created, Roy.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And this one in particular is going to be unprecedented. We're going from 32 to 48 teams. We have the US, Canada, and Mexico already qualified. And why are they qualified? Because it's in 3 countries for the first time ever. It's spanning 3 freaking massive countries. This is going to be pretty unbelievable. It could be a disaster. It could be the greatest thing we've ever experienced in our lives. I don't think it's going to be anything in between.
All right. It's the biggest ever. So 45 teams need to make this World Cup. 3 already in. That's what we're talking about, right, Sa?
Yes, we are, because it's hosted here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Let's get into it. We're going to tell you how they all get there, how they all qualify. We are going to South America. Roy, what you got for us in this region?
Rankings.
What were you saying?
Oh, boy, look at that. Look at that. Roy. Proud.
I put it on backwards accidentally. So let's put this bad boy back on the right way. Here we go. The greatest national team in Conmebol, Peru. The greatest national team, right, boys?
Peru. Right. Roy, let's see. Peru. This is, of course,
not looking good at the moment for Peru.
This is where things stand right now, Roy. So break it down. How does Conmebol work for those wondering?
Extremely simple. None of this noise that you guys have been making about UEFA with the 27 groups and top 1. None of that noise from the Asian region with top 2 and maybe the 3rd. No. Here, top 6 make it. 7 goes to the playoff. End of story. No other conversation. That's all you need to know. Top 6. These are the green. These are the current teams that are going to advance to the World Cup. 7th place will go to that intercontinental tournament that we keep talking about, which is 1 team from Conmebol, 1 team from various other regions, and 2 from CONCACAF. They will decide who goes to the World Cup. So this is what we're looking at, guys. It's extremely intense, and there are some shocking storylines here. Tremendously shocking. One being, who's in 5th place right now? 5th place with the greatest player in the world, Vinicius Jr., that the whole world was up in arms. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. They're in 5th place, my guys. What is going on with this Brazilian national team?
For those of you new to seeing this Conmebol table, to see Brazil sit that low is a shock. You have to look twice and make sure you're not seeing a lie, because this is wild. Brazil generally finishes 1 or 2, right up there in the top. This is a shock, Sa.
This is a shocking table, but boys, we got to talk about a team that's sitting in 3rd right now. Ecuador, boys. What is up with that, guys? What do we got to say about that?
They've been incredible. And I'm sure people have forgotten about this because it's been a while, but Ecuador started this with a points deduction. So they started, what was it, -3 that they started with in this qualifying campaign? They've compensated for that. They've gone up, and now they sit in 3rd. Where would they be sitting? They'd be sitting above Uruguay.
Right.
With 22 points, had it not been for that point reduction. And let that sink in. Ecuador, with a point reduction, sits above Brazil, arguably the greatest national team of all time. It's shocking group. And then in last place, Peru. Peru's been so exciting over the past decade and a half to see them play the way they're playing right now, to see them sitting on 1 win. Oh, this is depressing, man. This is depressing. 12 games, 1 win. And they got the win against Uruguay, which is very, very confusing to me as a Peruvian national team fan. Uruguay is a tremendous team, and they got it against them, but they couldn't do it against Chile, Venezuela, Bolivia.
But Bolivia, can we take 1 minute to talk about Bolivia? Because that is exciting. They're right now in line for the Intercontinental Playoff. We shall see. But Bolivia is interesting, folks, because they play their games at home in the highest stadium altitude in the world. So whenever anyone travels to Bolivia, they can barely breathe. And that's why Bolivia basically beats everyone on this table at home.